Okay, hey guys at Internet Land, we are recording class today, and so we are working on our bell ringer right now. Your job is to put these sentences back in order and to find the errors in them. Now, because we're sneaky, we're not going to give you the answers, so we're going to hit pause while we get the answers to it, then you're going to have to figure it out on your own. Okay, you kiddos in Internet Land, we just finished that slide and got the answers. Right, guys? Right. So, no pressure.
No pressure.
Alright, we are moving right along now, and we're going to watch a video on the Panama Canal. Alrighty.
35 years later, America would take on another engineering challenge that most considered impossible. But if it weren't for a 1-cent postage stamp, the world's most impressive canal would have been built a long way from Panama. The Panama Canal is a miraculous feat of engineering, fulfilling a 400-year-old dream of linking two great oceans. Building it seems impossible, moving 260 million tons of earth through jungle, swamp, and mountains, working up to 50,000 people at one time. But it was finished ahead of schedule and under budget. Today, 14,000 ships a year make the 9-hour passage. The facts are stunning. So, let's get the scoop on the fictions.
The Panama Canal has been considered one of the 10 new wonders of the world. And that's certainly the way all of us who worked there felt about it.
The familiar story goes like this. In 1904, America digs in, taking the reins of a monumental project that France began in 1880. It was forced to abandon. A sea-level canal running east to west across the Isthmus of Panama. The canal's location is a no-brainer, since the 50-mile wide isthmus is the narrowest land bridge separating the Atlantic and the Pacific. And when the canal is completed in 1914, the achievement hits the front pages of every newspaper as the world finally has an invaluable commercial shortcut. That story has enough holes in it to sink a cargo ship, starting with the idea that the canal is simply a big ditch.
They called it that when they constructed it, the big ditch, but it's much more elaborate, it's much more technologically savvy than that.
When a ship enters the Panama Canal, a series of gargantuan locks lift it like a watery staircase, 85 feet above sea level. This allows it to sail through the mountainous spine of the Panama Isthmus. Here, the canal features its biggest surprise. It's not a canal at all, but a huge 22-mile-long artificial lake.
Gatun Lake is almost half the canal, so basically you're going on a lake for about half of it, and then you finally hit the Pacific side, you go through the cut, and then you step down 85 feet into the Pacific Ocean.
And the ships passing through these impressive locks travel east and west along the canal. Right? Odd as it seems, the canal actually runs north and south as it cuts across Panama's S-shaped landmass. And a ship entering the canal from the Atlantic actually travels 27 miles east by the time it exits in the Pacific. And how about the idea that picking Panama as the canal's location was a no-brainer? Dig this. As late as 1902, 2 years before construction began, just about everyone expected the canal to be built in Nicaragua.
Most guys were in favor of the Nicaraguan Canal. It's more friendly landscape, it's closer to the United States by several hundred miles. We had a very friendly Nicaraguan government that we had made by 1902 6 treaties with. They're ready, they want us there.
Nicaragua also has clear physical advantages, including lower mountains and a natural lake and river that would help ease excavation.
Even right up to days before the vote in Congress, you got the vast majority of congressmen prepared to vote for the Nicaraguan Canal. This seems like a done deal, so why did they pick Panama?
You've probably heard that Teddy Roosevelt was a driving force behind the canal in Panama. But it's very likely we'd have a canal through Nicaragua if if not for a wily Frenchman and a postage stamp. From 1884 to 1889, engineer Philippe Bourneville was part of the failed French effort to build a canal in Panama. In 1902, he's still heavily invested and stands to make a pile of money if the Americans choose Panama and buy the French plans and equipment. Then, a month before the congressional vote, a volcanic eruption on the Caribbean island of Martinique kills 30,000. And that gives the Frenchman an idea.
Bonaveria remembers a stamp that the Nicaraguan government had produced 2 years earlier that showed a Nicaraguan port. And in the background, there's a volcano, and it has smoke spewing out of it.
Bonaveria sends the stamp to each of the 90 U.S. senators, hoping to play on their fears to sway the vote. Although Nicaragua's 19 volcanoes haven't had a major eruption for centuries, the fact that several of them are so close to the construction site is enough to throw a scare into a majority of the senators.
In the Senate, it's going to be a 42-34 vote for a Panamanian canal. In the House, it's even more dramatic. It's like 260-270 to 8 in favor of Panamanian canal.
So in 1904, with the vote in and the treaty with Panama signed, America digs into one of the most massive and challenging engineering projects the world has ever seen.
Okay. Kind of cool, wasn't it? Was that canal used for agricultural purposes? No. That canal is used for what? Transportation. Transportation purposes. Okay? So, but nonetheless, it's still a canal. And it still serves the purpose of getting something across to another side, right? It still requires the water to flow through an area. Okay? Why was it that they chose the Panama?
Because that, he said the stamp to the senator showing a volcano.
And what had just happened there?
The volcano.
A volcano had erupted. So basically he was trying to tell them, you know, there's a lot of volcanoes in Nicaragua. If you build that canal there and then one of them erupts, you might lose your canal. And so all the guys that voted, all the men in Congress said what? Well, almost all of them, but what, 8 it said? Yeah, they were like, maybe we should rethink this. We probably should put it in Panama. Did he have to be a pretty intelligent man to have noticed that 2 years before there was a stamp put out with volcano on it from Nicaragua? Yeah, and he got a hold of those stamps and mailed them to every single person. That's kind of cool, isn't it? All right, Panama Canal, ultimate. If you ever get a chance to go see it, go see it. Okay, find your standard 611 on polytheism. We're going to get back on track now. Okay, I think we saw this yesterday. Okie dokie, smoky. Alright, did we do this yesterday? Yeah, okay. I'm going to give you a sheet. So if you've not drawn boxes that say God and priest, that's fine. If you have, that's fine too. This is actually what your homework is tonight. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to glue this in to where you have standard 6.11. Okay? We're not going to work on it right now. Yes, please. Okay? We're not going to work on it right now. The passage that you see on your homework is that same passage. And when you get this, if you want to draw a box around the 2 paragraphs, the first paragraph's about the gods, and the second paragraph's about the priests. Okay? So, then you've got, which you don't see here, but you will in a second, you've got, 5 questions, and then you need to write a paragraph. So if you want to glue this up higher, or if you need to trim it down, you can, whatever you need to do. Okay? However you want to glue it in to standard 611 is fine with me. Alright, for those of you in internet land, this is what the paper looks like, and it will be under my units of study page, so you can get it there if you need it. Alright, you guys have it, so we're going to glue it in right now. Alright, after you get this worksheet glued in your spiral, then you're going to go to the next page, and you're going to draw a huge triangle on that page. Alright, so go to your next free page, draw a huge triangle on that page. Okay, we're back to recording. Hint, hint. Now you divide that triangle into 6 sections. Okay, 6 sections. Okay, once you've divided that triangle into 6 sections, I'm going to give you some clues, and you're going to see if you can figure out who it is. Now, when you see something I have written, you are to write it. Let me say that again. When you see something that I have typed up here that is written on the slide, you are to write it as well. Do you understand me? Yes. Okay, for some strange reason, the other class has been like, oh, you want me to write that? No, stare at it, see if it does tricks. Yes, I want you to write that. Hello. All right, here we go. First clue. This is the top dog. He's in charge of everyone and everything. Samantha says she already knows who it is.
King.
It is the king. All right, so you are writing this, and then you are putting this in your triangle. Can, Miss Wills, I write this inside my triangle? Why, yes, you can. If there's room, go for it. Miss Wills, may I write it like you have it? Why, yes, you can. Go for it.
Not done.
I know you are probably not done yet. But we're going to move ahead to the next clue. All right, next clue. This person has to keep the gods happy and is the only one that can go into the temple where the gods reside. RJ? Ding! It is the priest. You are writing this, and you are writing this. I will give you a momento. All right, next clue. Here we go. These people keep the records of the city-state. Let's see. Hunter. Scribes, who agrees? Scribes and government officials. Now listen, when they were scribes, if they went through scribe school, didn't I tell you they could get really good jobs after that? Do you think a government official might have been a scribe? Yeah. You all are bright, bright, bright. It's so bright in here I'm going to have to put my shades on. Okay, next clue. These people trade products at the city gates or between the regions. Samantha, yes, no? Huh?
Farmer?
I thought you said fireman, and I was going to go, no. What do you say, Ellie Beth?
Like merchant?
Merchants? Who agrees? Yep, merchants and traders.
I just need like
Alright, that's fine. Alright, here we go. These people worked in the fields.
farmers.
Farmers.
I got it.
The farmers. Alright, and last one. These people work for others or work off debts. The enslaved or slaves. Alright, we talked about them being enslaved earlier when we were talking about early man. If you have enslaved or slaves, either one, the thing is either one their freedom is taken away. So can you say either one of them and still be correct? Enslaved or slaves? Yeah, because your freedom's taken either way. Alright, so I'll give you a second to get those written. At the bottom, you need to write Sumerian social pyramid or social hierarchy. And then don't change the page because we're going to do one more thing to it. Alrighty? Okay, once you have all of this pyramid done, including this at the bottom, okay, up top I want you to draw some clouds. And guess who you're going to write up there? The gods, because they believed in the gods of the elements and everything that affected their life. over 3,000 of them. Can you imagine trying to keep 3,000 of them happy? That would be crazy, wouldn't it? All right. Everybody in class received a little piece of paper that has a different scenario on it. You may turn your piece of paper over right now and see what you have. Hey, boys, if any of you boys have one that says I'm a woman, you can give that one back to me and I will swap it. All right. I want you to raise your hand if you received scenario 4. 2 people. All right, according to our social pyramid that we just did, do you think there were more kings in the society or less? Less. All right? The closer you get to the top of the pyramid, the less population of people you have in that region. So, according to this, you're not going to have as many kings as you have farmers and slaves. Okay? Because lots of times the social hierarchy will also show you the amount of people that's in a region. So, even though you're going to the bottom of the pyramid, your population is growing. How many of you received scenario 3? Scenario 3 said you are a what? Trader. You are a trader. All right. Who received scenario 2? All right. You are a woman in Sumer. Who received scenario 1?
No, I got scenario 3.
He got scenario 3. Who got scenario 1? Farmers. All right, farmers are our biggest population of workers in Sumer. Now, let's look at each of these scenarios, okay? All right, scenario 1. Now, you're going to have to listen because I have 10 minutes to explain this to you so you'll know exactly what you're doing. Scenario 1 says you are a farmer in Mesopotamia and you're getting ready to start planting a new field of grain that will later be used to make bread for your family and the families in your city-state. Hang on one second, let me get this out of the way. You are very worried as this is the first time you have planted a field of wheat on your own. And you know there is a possibility that you can fail. Listen to this sentence again. You are worried as this is the first time you have planted a field of wheat on your own. Have you helped someone before?
Yes.
Probably.
But this is
Okay?
on your
But this time, you're not helping, you're the boss. You're planting this field and you are responsible for it. So you're worried that you could possibly fail. You are to have a scribe write a letter to the priest that he will deliver to the gods, asking for their help with this year's crop. You need to make sure you cover all your bases. Planting, growing, harvesting, and then trading that item for the items you need. You've also decided that you're going to give the gods some of your grain. You need to decide how much grain you can afford to give them. Remember, the more you tell them in the letter and more you are willing to give the gods, the happier they're going to be. Okay? So who's got farmer again? Alrighty, do you understand what your job is? Now, I could not tell you to write a letter as a farmer. Why?
Because you don't have a scribe.
Farmers aren't scribes. So, it says that you're going to have a scribe write it. You are going to play in every scenario 2 roles, scribe and that job. So even though it says you have a scribe write it for you, I couldn't say you're going to write it because you would have looked at me and said, Miss Wills, farmers couldn't write. And that is correct. Farmers could not write. So in your scenario, I had to tell a scribe to write it. But who's really going to write your letter? You are. First of all, because you all know the information best. Okay? All right, let's look at scenario 2. Olivia, will you close that door? All right, who had scenario 2? Okay, scenario 2. Raise them again. Good, I want to make sure that no guys got scenario 2. Alright, scenario 2 says you are a woman in Sumer. Your children are ages 2, 4, and 7. Your oldest child is a boy who wants so badly to be a scribe. He's very intelligent. You and your husband are not wealthy. Your husband is a farmer while you care for the children, sew the clothes, and oftentimes help your husband in the fields. You are desperately hoping your eldest son might be able to go to scribe school. If he could, it would really help your family. You know that usually only the wealthy sons are allowed to attend. However, you think the gods might show favor to your son if they just knew how smart he was. You are to have a scribe write the gods a letter to place with the food that you're going to send with the priest to the ziggurat, requesting favor be shown to your family by allowing your son to somehow go to scribe school. Okay? So, typically, would your son be going to scribe school?
No.
No, because I told you that your family's not what?
Wealthy.
Not wealthy. Your husband's a farmer. You stay at home and take care of the kids. Typically, that child would be a farmer, right? But he's really, really smart. And he wants to be a scribe. So you're going to ask the gods, some way, can they let your child go to scribe school? And you're going to make an offering. An offering of what?
Food.
Food. Yes, Ellie Beth.
So if we have that one because of different food,
That's going to be up to you.
wait, we get to bring food?
Okay, all right, let's go to scenario 3. I'm going to tell you in a minute. Let's keep going, keep going, keep going. We've got 6 minutes. Whoa. Keep going. 6 minutes. Scenario 3. You are a trader of jewelry. Raise your hand if you got trader. All right, you are a trader of jewelry. William, put that jacket down. That is a strike. Listen to me. You are a trader of jewelry. You travel from place to place trading. Lately, there's been a lot of conflict between your city-state and the neighboring city-states. What did I tell you they fought over? Land. Okay, so they're into a battle right now. So, is trading going to be good for you? No, because you're at war with them. You worry that you will soon not be able to trade. Bartering is the only way your family will be able to survive because you do not farm. You rely on trading your jewelry for the food you and your family need. You are to have a scribe write a letter explaining to the gods your situation and what you would like for them to do to help you. Along with your plea for help, you have decided to give the gods a gift as an offering in hopes that you can persuade them to bring peace to the region. As a metallurgist, what are you going to give them? Okay? All right, you're a trader. You're a metallurgist because you trade jewelry.
Wait, I'm so confused.
Just hang on. We're getting there.
To bring stuff?
Hang on. We're getting there. All right, scenario 4. Who were my 2 people that had scenario 4? Yep, you guys are my kings. Yours is challenging because the trader gets to think about him and his family. The farmer gets to think about him and his family. The woman in Sumer gets to think about her son. The king has to think about everybody. Okay? Everybody. You are king of one of the city-states of Sumer. Your region is suffering from a drought. Your farmers' crops are dying. The livestock is dying. Your storehouses are running out of food. And your traders are unable to trade with other city-states because they're in the same situation. The drought's everywhere. You have never seen a drought this bad since the gods appointed you king. You are fearful you have done something that has angered the gods. You must find a way to please them again so that your entire civilization is not destroyed. You need to have a scribe write a letter to the gods for everyone in your entire community. They are all depending on you for help. After speaking with the priest, you determine that you are not the only one that is desperate. Your people are desperate too. In addition to your letter, you ask the priest to make a substantial offering to the gods. That means a really good one, a really big one. In your letter, you tell the gods your troubles and what you're willing to offer up to them to save your community. Everyone's depending on you. Okay, now let me explain how we're going to do this. Hold your questions to the end, okay? Simply because the people that are on the internet listening, they need to hear my instructions completely before we start asking questions, okay? Whatever job you got, you are all to write a letter. So you are going to be that person, farmer, trader, woman in Sumer, or king. And you're also going to play the role of scribe. Okay? Because nobody can write a letter for you and put your ideas in it like you can. Okay, so you're going to play 2 roles, scribe and that job I gave you. Now, past the letter, you can be as creative as you want. When it says an offering and you're a trader who makes jewelry, if you want to make something, draw something, build something, bring something in, that's up to you. If you are the woman who has the child who wants to be a scribe, same thing. Make something, draw something, act something out, videotape it, make a PowerPoint slide, do something to bring it in to go with your letter. Kings, you really got to think, because yours affects everybody. So yours is a substantial gift for your entire community. You can't just think about yourself, because it's not going to be any good. It's not going to do you any good if only you and your family make it, right? Because then you have no farmers, you have no traders, you have no children, you have nothing. All right, the women who want the child to go to school, the farmers, the traders, be as creative as you want to be. Does it mean bring something in? Yeah. Does it mean take a picture? Could be. Mean build something? Might be. Make something? Maybe. Draw something? I don't know. What do you think? Right? This is your opportunity to show me how creative you are. So you're going to bring me your letter, and you're going to bring me your object, your offering. Okay? It's not due until Friday. So you have 4 days to think about it. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's not any pressure to go home tonight and do it all tonight. You got 4 days. Should you wait till Thursday night?
No.
No, you should not. But you have plenty of time, 4 days, to get it done.
I only have tomorrow night.
All right. I'm going to stop the video right here. So those of you in the internet, if you do not understand this, you can email me or you can ask me when you get back to school. Okay, see you. Bye.